Welcome to Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Caleb Aguayo. A video of an arrest that went viral is set to spark a protest against the Huntsville Police Department tonight. Civil rights advocates are demanding accountability in the arrest of London Harkey, echoing calls previously made by his family. The protest is set to begin this evening at 6:30 p.m. outside the Huntsville Police Station on Wheeler Avenue. Fox 54's Valentina Chalala now joins us live from outside the police station. Valentina, what's the atmosphere like there right now?
Yeah, Caleb, it doesn't look like there's anyone here yet, but in a second I'll be going across the street to see if there may be a group forming over there. At this moment, it is unclear how many people are supposed to come, but the activists and protesters that are supposed to be here will be here demanding answers for London Harkey, rather. This comes after a video of his arrest went viral. In a second here, we'll be showing you that video, but we warn you that viewer discretion is advised. This is the video at the center of the controversy, showing the arrest of London Harkey during a police encounter on Jordan Lane near Oakwood Avenue, January 21st. Harkey's attorneys say he lost control of his car during a brief pursuit before crashing. Harkey's attorneys allege HPD officers then used a taser, slammed him to the ground, and pepper sprayed him while restricting his breathing. Huntsville police say force was used during the arrest and that the incident is under review. The officer involved has been placed on administrative duty as the department reviews body cam footage and other evidence. Harkey's attorneys say they're exploring all legal options, including a civil lawsuit. Live in Huntsville, I'm Valentina Chalala, Fox 54 News.
Thanks, Valentina. We'll continue to follow this developing story and bring you the latest tonight on Fox 54 News at 9. And the blues painted the sky today. Just look at all that sun. Very few clouds and great temperatures accompanied the sunny weather, but I hear rain is possible this weekend. Let's bring in Fox 54's Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, when will the rain start?
Yeah, we are definitely going to be talking about rain across the Tennessee Valley this weekend. Rain could start as early as Saturday morning and then continue in some capacity through the early part or middle part of Sunday afternoon. In the meantime, get outside and enjoy this beautiful Friday evening. Maybe you want to go to dinner tonight instead of tomorrow night. You could definitely do that. 56 right now in Huntsville, 57 in Coleman, and a pair of 57s for both Pulaski and Fayetteville. Up in southern Middle Tennessee, good evening to our friends over in Fort Payne. They currently find themselves sitting at 55 degrees. Radar looks nice and quiet this evening, and it's going to stay that way for the next several hours. As a matter of fact, the system we're looking at that's going to impact our weather here is still back off to the west across Oklahoma, portions of Texas. A warm front extending out from that area of low pressure is going to lift to the north as we head into the overnight, which could bring a little bit of rain to the Tennessee Valley. First and foremost, though, the cloud cover will eventually push its way into our neck of the woods. When we're done talking about the rain this weekend, we're talking about a serious jump in our temperatures as we head into the early part of next week. We'll talk about that in great detail here in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Jordan. A former Franklin County school teacher pleaded guilty today to charges involving the distribution of obscene material to a child. The case stems back to 2023 when the Franklin County Sheriff's Office received a report that an explicit video had been sent to a 17-year-old student. During an interview with investigators, Timothy Wells admitted to sending the video and soon turned himself in. According to court documents, Wells pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor count in exchange for a second case against him dismissed. And Huntsville city leaders voted last night to dissolve the city's police department, abolish the municipal court, and appoint a new mayor. The council said the moves are part of a plan to restructure public safety after the department was suspended. You may recall, Huntsville has been mired in controversy since a police scandal last year. Coleman County Sheriff's Office will provide law enforcement coverage in the city. Nolan Bradford takes over as mayor after Paul Campbell resigned following the death of his wife in April and the growing demands of leading the city. Bradford says he plans to continue efforts to bring additional deputies to the city. The funeral service for a Huntsville man who died in a plane crash in South Carolina happening tomorrow. 30-year-old Andrew Nichols was a passenger in a single-engine plane headed to Decatur when it crashed near Gilbert, South Carolina after engine failure. The pilot was critically injured and taken to the hospital while Nichols died at the scene. A visitation currently underway at Mount Zion Baptist Church. A second visitation and funeral service is tomorrow morning at 9:30. A late-night house fire in Madison was quickly contained yesterday as crews prevented flames from spreading beyond the kitchen. The Monrovia Volunteer Fire Rescue says crews were dispatched around 10 p.m. to a home in the 1300 block of Old Railroad Bed Road. When firefighters arrived, they found smoke coming from inside the home. Crews entered with limited visibility and were able to extinguish the fire within minutes. The cause of the fire not known. Residents at Sutton Apartments finding their footing again after being forced to move out just a month ago. You may remember last month, Madison Utilities shut off water to the apartment complex after its owner, Lurin Real Estate Holdings, failed to pay their bill. That gave families living at the complex just 7 days to move out, with volunteers turning out in droves to help. But in the aftermath, Building Church in Madison has been helping residents find new housing. Take a listen.
All the Sutton Apartments individuals have moved. They're into the new homes and new locations, and I believe we got the final one moved out earlier this week and was situated in their new apartment here in Madison. So, yeah, man, it was good. All 22 residents that we helped are settled and moving forward.
The American Red Cross is also offering additional community resources to help with the sudden change. For more information, visit FOX54.com. U.S. Labor Secretary Lori Chavez-DeRemer in Huntsville this week to tour Boeing's Huntsville factory. During her visit, Chavez-DeRemer met with employees and walked through facilities supporting programs that range from missile defense and space systems to engineering and advanced manufacturing. Chavez-DeRemer says Boeing's work in Huntsville reflects national efforts to strengthen American manufacturing. The visit was part of the Department of Labor's Nationwide America at Work Tour, an initiative aimed at hearing directly from employees, employers, and community leaders about workforce needs. And crews are preparing to break ground on a major project along Pinhook Creek designed to prevent flooding and create new green spaces for the community. The city contracted Lambert Contracting LLC to widen the creek and restore the stream from Holmes Avenue to Memorial Parkway. The work includes moving around about 100,000 cubic yards of earth and building 90,000 square feet of retaining walls. This section will eventually join the city's lower Greenway network. One of the major candidates for governor of Alabama telling FOX54 today he likely has signed off on a bill expanding the death penalty, though he isn't sure it will hold up to a legal challenge. The measure allows for a court to impose capital punishment in extreme cases of child sexual assault. It sailed through the legislature and was signed into law by current Governor Kay Ivey, a Republican. Democrat Doug Jones acknowledged there's widespread support for capital punishment when a child is victimized.
I probably would have signed it if it got the support that it did. I've got real concerns about the bill. I don't know yet. I haven't looked at the details. The concerns I've got is that it might be unconstitutional. I've not studied it to see, but I know that there's been Supreme Court decisions that call into question the constitutionality. I wanted to look to see if it was vague. I have not looked at that bill enough to see exactly where that stands.
Jones is a career lawyer and former United States prosecutor. He's favored to win the Democratic nomination in May and advance to a likely showdown with current U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville. The Alabama Senate passing a bill changing the qualifications for a grant program for adult students. The Reengage Alabama grant program helps students who previously earned college credits but never completed a degree return to college. Senate Bill 72 lowers the age requirement from 25 to 22 years old, but it also limits the grant to Alabama residents who must have previously started but not completed either an associate or bachelor's degree. The bill will now go to the State House.
We couldn't be more thrilled for what's happening in Huntsville and Alabama and this great project.
A new federal courthouse dedicated in downtown Huntsville, and FOX54 gets a first look inside. Catch a sneak peek coming up. An Alabama senator made her way to the Rocket City today, and a topic on everyone's mind, Space Command. We'll hear from Katie Britt next. Looking ahead on FOX54, we're celebrating Black History Month with a special full of stories of Black excellence. It's airing this upcoming Monday at 5 and 10 p.m., and it'll be available to watch anytime right here on FOX54+. Senator Katie Britt returning to North Alabama after a busy week on Capitol Hill. During her visit to the Rocket City, Britt spoke with local and state leaders about what's happening in Washington. One topic on hand was the relocation of Space Command to Redstone Arsenal. During the update, Britt gave a look at the relocation timeline and the future goals for the Alabama delegation when it comes to Space Command.
We met and had a conversation with Secretary Mink and General Whiting on an update on the move, and they assured us that 50% of Space Command personnel would be relocated to Alabama by the end of 2028, and they're going to work closely with our community partners to ensure that that happens. We're going to use every tool in our toolbox to make sure that this permanency is just that permanency, and there is no way to unwind that.
After giving her speech, Britt also commented on the partial shutdown in place for the Department of Homeland Security, which impacts agencies such as the TSA and ICE, airing her frustrations with those across the aisle.
I continue to hope that my Democratic colleagues will operate in good faith and find a pathway forward. It is clear that everything from the administration, from the president reaching out both to the governor of Minnesota and to Mayor Fry, along with the secretary's deployment of body cameras, along with the announcements we've seen from Tom Holman, that the administration and Republicans are working in good faith. I want us to continue to do that, to figure out how to fund this agency, because it has really critical components to keeping America safe.
And if you want to watch the entire Washington update, you can find it on demand on FOX54+. Download on your TV, watch for free. It's a liftoff for 4 astronauts heading straight to the International Space Station. We have the launch for you coming up next.
There's currently a system back off to the west. It's going to push its way to the east as we head into the weekend. It's going to bring us cloud cover, and it's also going to bring us a little bit of rain. We'll discuss it in just a few minutes.
SpaceX and NASA launched 4 astronauts from Florida's Space Coast to the International Space Station this morning. Take a listen.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition, and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Dragon, and Godspeed Crew 12.
The 4 crew members lifted off as part of the Crew 12 mission, which will conduct a variety of experiments to advance research and technology for future Mars and Moon ventures. The 4 astronauts were originally going to overlap with Crew 11, but Crew 11 had to come back to Earth early due to a medical issue. The mission is expected to last roughly 8 months. The federal courthouse in downtown Huntsville formally dedicated this morning. City, state, and federal leaders taking part in the event as part of Celebrating America 250. And Fox 54 got a rare chance to look inside the building. After the dedication, head of the General Services Administration, Edward Force, spoke with Fox 54, praising local leaders and saying events like today are important to celebrate during 250 years of our nation.
This is a tremendous opportunity to link the integrity and dignity of justice with the 250th anniversary of our country, and to do it and signified in this way. This is just an amazing opportunity for us to all be together. Beautiful sunny day, but on behalf of the president, we couldn't be more thrilled for what's happening in Huntsville and Alabama and this great project.
The courthouse is now also home to several offices for federal agencies, including U.S. Marshals.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
Take a look at the sun over the hills here in Huntsville. The weather was practically pristine, with sunny skies and temperatures warming up. But Jordan, I hear that rain might just be on the horizon.
Yeah, unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and this good thing has to come to an end. I tell you what, have you driven past that federal courthouse here as of late?
I can't say that I have. I didn't recognize it until the show came on.
Yeah, you should drive by that. It's a beautiful, beautiful building. I would hope, and it is my desire, that they would maybe have some sort of a public tour, because I don't plan to ever need to go inside a federal courthouse.
Not.
Exactly. But if it's a beautiful building on the outside, I'm sure it's just as beautiful on the inside.
One could only imagine.
Are you ready for a little bit of rain this weekend?
I wouldn't say ready, but I would say maybe the plants need it. I mean, more than I do.
Yes, the plants could actually use a little bit of a rain. We've been in a bit of a deficit here over the last few weeks. Nothing too terribly extreme, but we could use a little bit of rain across the Tennessee Valley. 56 right now in Huntsville. It is a beautiful evening, a beautiful clear sky this evening. Matches the fantastic temperatures. 55 in Fayetteville, 56 in Florence. We're sitting in the low mid-50s over in northeast Alabama. Fort Payne, good evening. You find yourself sitting at 53 degrees. We're not talking about much in the way of any cloud cover for the time being, so naturally it kind of goes without saying that if we're not talking about any cloud cover, we're definitely not talking about any rain across the Tennessee Valley. All of that activity back off to the west, a lot of cloud cover back across Oklahoma, Texas. All of that is associated with this area of low pressure here. Now, there is a cold front extending out from that area of low pressure, but that cold front is never really going to move through the Tennessee Valley, which is a good thing because it's going to keep the chance for any stronger thunderstorms across the area out of the area. As a matter of fact, there is a marginal risk for some stronger thunderstorms, Birmingham and then points to the south. Now, this is mostly going to be applicable Sunday morning and then into the early part of Sunday afternoon. We might get a couple of rumbles of thunder here across the Tennessee Valley through the back half of the weekend, but really, that's going to be about it. Here's Futurecast as we head into Saturday morning. We're going to start things off dry, maybe a couple of peaks of sunshine here and there, but overall, a mostly cloudy sky. Rain is going to filter into the Tennessee Valley through the later part of the morning, early into the afternoon. Now, this initial band of rain through the first part of the day on Saturday is going to be associated with a warm front. Now, that warm front's going to lift to the north. After that initial band of rain gets out of here, many of us are going to be dry through the rest of Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. A couple of scattered showers might be possible, but there are going to be significant periods of dry time. This rain does, however, become more widespread. This is when we get a few thunderstorms as we head into the middle and later part of Sunday morning. You're heading out the door for Sunday services, Sunday breakfast. That's when that most widespread rain is going to develop across the Tennessee Valley. So if you are going to be going out Sunday morning, you're going to want to allow yourself several extra minutes. You're going to want to have a raincoat and an umbrella. Again, a couple of rumbles of thunder are also going to be possible. Through the later part of the morning and then early into the afternoon, this activity is slowly going to begin to taper off. Maybe a little bit of rain still hanging around through the evening, but then as we head into the overnight, that rain comes to an end. We're going to hold on to the cloud cover, though. That's going to be the one unfortunate part about all of this, is that the cloud cover is not really going to go away for the Monday morning commute. We are, however, not going to be talking about any rain on Monday. We'll also be dry Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The smallest opportunity for rain by the time we get to next Friday. We only drop into the upper 30s, lower 40s as we head into the overnight. In the temperature department, it's going to be a fantastic Valentine's Day. 58 degrees by the lunch hour, 62 degrees by the time we get to 3 p.m. Have a good look at the next 7 days. Look at how much our temperatures are going to climb as we head into next week. 61, 62, Saturday, Sunday. That's not bad. It is a few degrees above average. 66 on Monday, but then look what happens Tuesday through Friday of next week. Temperatures are consistently going to be in the low and mid 70s. 70 degrees on Tuesday, 71 Wednesday, 74 degrees by the time we get to next Thursday. This is the epitome of fake spring because we know that cooler air is eventually going to push its way back into the area as we round up February and head into early March. It happens every year. 73 degrees on Friday, but look at the low temperatures Friday, Thursday, and Wednesday. We're going to start each of those days in the low and mid 50s.
It's a 3-day weekend, and there's lots to do, from Mardi Gras parades and celebrations of President's Day. So here's your weekly roundup of the best events happening this weekend. First up, step back in time with real classics at the South Huntsville Public Library, where they're playing the iconic 70s music movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The free event is tomorrow, and the movie starts at 1 p.m. Next up, Mardi Gras fun hits Mid-City Sunday with festive pups at the 4th annual Mardi Gras Paw Parade. There are still spots available to register your pup to walk in the parade. Proceeds benefit the local Notorious DOG Dog Rescue. Registration ends tomorrow, and the parade is Sunday at noon. And if your child is looking for something fun to do this President's Day, Southeast YMCA is offering a day camp featuring arts and crafts, games, and outdoor play. The camp is on Monday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and costs between $45 and $55. And as always, if none of this is your style, go to FOX54.com for a full list of this weekend's happenings. And if you plan on going to the Huntsville Mardi Gras Parade or are planning a trip into downtown tomorrow, we have a traffic impact alert for you. Several roads are closing starting at 2 p.m. Expect impacts on the following roads: Meridian Street, Monroe Street, Spraggins Street, Holmes Avenue, Washington Street, and Green Street. If you need to travel through downtown, plan ahead, use alternate routes, and follow detour signs. For more traffic impact alerts, go to FOX54.com. The City of Huntsville conducting a 12-week study of the local music ecosystem and its economic impact. The study, part of an agreement with Sound Diplomacy to create an updated database, an interactive map of the local music ecosystem, measure economic impact, and then analyze how the industry has grown and changed. The study will update a municipal music audit first, conducted in 2018, which helped launch the Huntsville Music Office.
Another season of NASCAR racing is set to begin this weekend with the 68 running of the Daytona 500. I'm Mo Carter, and we got a report from the Sunshine State. Next is sports.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Come Sunday, 41 drivers will race 200 laps around the Daytona International Speedway track, with just one taking the checkered flag for this year's Daytona 500. Our sister station, First Coast News, has a story about a young and up-and-coming race star named Connor Zillage.
Anticipation is now growing for the 68th running of the Daytona 500. And while some drivers might be a little anxious about taking their position on NASCAR's biggest stage, 19-year-old Connor Zillage is getting ready to make his NASCAR Cup Series debut. And he's on cruise control and says he's anything but anxious.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've got a lot to look forward to this weekend. My first Daytona 500 and just a lot of new experiences for me. So I'm really excited about it.
In just 4 short years, Connor Zillage went from being a fan in the grandstands at Daytona International Speedway to taking his place on the track.
When I came here in 2022 it was my first time being here in person. I watched the race in the stands, and to think that just 4 years later I'll be competing in it is pretty crazy.
Connor is no stranger to winning, finishing the 2025 O'Reilly season in 2nd place, winning 11 races in the process. But the Daytona 500 is a different kind of race, where often the most aggressive drivers take the top spot. But he says he's turned to his teammates at Trackhouse Racing when he needs advice.
The most people I've gone to would be just my teammates, Ross and Shane. They've been really big help of just anything I have, any questions I have. They're always willing to help, and it's helpful to have that.
So with the roar of the crowd behind him, Connor is getting ready to make his Daytona 500 debut. From the world center of racing here in Daytona, Channing Curtis, First Coast Sports.
The 68th running of the Daytona 500 will air this Sunday right here on Fox 54. Race time is set for 1:30 p.m. That'll do it for your Fox 54 Sports Report. I'm Mo Carter.
Coming up on Fox 54 News, a man connected with the disappearance of an Alabama family back in court today. The latest from the investigation up ahead. A protest starting in a few minutes after an arrest in Huntsville went viral. We'll tell you what happened and what protesters have to say. And the Recycling Alliance of North Alabama catching up on long-delayed recycling. We'll tell you about the effort to get back on track tonight on Fox 54 News. A real-life Lassie moment caught on camera. The Louisville Metro Police Department posted this video of a dog helping them find a missing child. Officers were searching for a child inside a home when the dog began barking to lead officers back outside, where they found the child locked in a car. One officer says he doesn't know where the dog came from, but said it was a blessing from God.
Dogs are cool.
They really are. That's impressive.
It is, and they can do a lot of very cool things. Quick look at the next 7 days. We're going to talk about some rain as we head into both Valentine's Day and then on Sunday, but Valentine's Day not going to be a complete and total wash. The best chance for any widespread rain and maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder thrown into the mix is going to be on Sunday. Otherwise, we are going to be warm this weekend, so at least we're not talking about a bitterly cold rain or anything like that. 61, 62 Saturday and Sunday, but I really want you to pay attention to next week. We're going to head full force into fake spring next week, where temperatures are going to somewhat consistently climb into the low and mid 70s. Our low temperatures at night are only going to drop into the low and mid 50s. So we're finally going to get a prolonged period of time where we're going to be able to give the heater a little bit of a break and maybe open the windows inside the house.
Absolutely. Well, that's all we have for you for right now. We'll see you tonight on Fox 54 News.